Hi, everybody. I'm so glad you were able to take time out of your busy days and to come. I've kind of got something up my sleeve, so I'm anxious to talk to you about it. And I want to hear what's been happening. This is our third call in 3 weeks, and I think they've been going really, really well. I think they've been very uplifting for me and hopefully for you. Our neighborhood dogs are in consistent consensus about that. They seem to bark at these certain times. But anyway, today's focus is really going to be on creating something that we talked about last time. And so we'll get into that in a minute. John Paduchek hopefully will join me. He'll be here shortly. And we'll talk about some of the ideas he and I bounced around and get into that co-creation in just a little bit. But let's just take a moment to draw our energies in before we jump into the middle of all of that. So if you'd like to just close your eyes for a moment and let's just take a nice deep centering breath. So remember to breathe. Remembering to breathe is so important in relaxation. So do that now, just a deep breath. And just release. Feels better already. Another deep breath. And let it go. And one more nice, deep, relaxing breath. And when you breathe in this time, if you haven't already, see if you can connect to the hearts of all the people on our call today. Just feel the heart energy connecting and feeling our hearts opening more as we do this breath. So deep breath. And release. And before you open your eyes, let's just take a moment to see us all sitting in a beautiful virtual living room. And maybe it's in a scenery that you love to picture when you imagine yourself in the most beautiful spot that you love to be in. Maybe it's in nature, or is it a winter setting, or a spring setting, or a summer at the beach setting? Whatever you envision in your mind's eye, just see that happening now. And we're all together in that beautiful environment and just we're excited and we're so grateful that we can join together in this way today. And we know that whatever we were called to the call for, whatever got us here, in other words, is perfect. And now that we're here, let's open our hearts, our minds, our soul to co-create something magical as a result of coming together today. And with that, take another relaxing breath. And when you're ready, just open your eyes. And we're back. Okay, seeing a few more folks on the video. So let's see, we've got a couple of new people that haven't been here. If you've been here every week, you don't have to introduce yourself, but why don't you just say your name, where you're from, and just one thing, just a real short thing of what got you here today. What drew you in? What made you say, yes, I want to do that? So who will lead us off?
I will. This is Michelle.
Oh, thanks, Michelle.
I missed the last two because I was traveling and had previous appointments, and I just miss this community. So I love your energy. I love the people in this group. I always have, and I live in Morgan, Utah. So it's up and out of everywhere. It's a high mountain valley, and I'm just stood here. So it's a good thing.
Oh, welcome. I'm so glad you were able to be here today. And if anybody was on the Facebook group, Michelle was kind enough to let us post one of her recordings. She does some amazing, amazing work. So you want to check that out and enjoy what she's provided there.
And thank you for
Okay,
sharing.
thank you. Let's see, John, I think you were jumping up and down to share next.
Me?
Did I make that up?
You did say me, right?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay, I'm just checking.
You're it. I pick you.
Hi, I'm John Paduchak. Jan made me come. No, I'm just kidding.
I did. I threatened
I just
him.
always love being here.
Mhm.
And I'm from the Boston area, live in southern New Hampshire, very close to Boston. And the video guy that everybody knows about me from that. So
Yes. You're our go-to guy. All right. Thanks for being here. And Bridge, how about you?
Hi everyone. Hi Jan. It's good to see you. So I'm here, of course, through my connection with you, who you are as the voice of the feminine spirit, and you always radiate that. So I am here to first be in our collective energy and our collective sanity, mindfulness, and presence. I know we'll create something wonderful together. I am a business consultant in high tech, and I've had some good openings there. I'll share later. But I'm here also to look and examine what else can I offer other than my high tech thing. I have a lot of other trainings and spiritual traditions and transformation and so on. So I'm just being open and taking a look. What else can I offer to my community and the world at large? Thank you.
And that's perfect for today, you know, because that's kind of what we're going to be talking about some more. So that's great. All right. Glad you're here. Okay. Who would like to share next?
I can go.
Okay. Thanks.
I'm sorry I've missed the beginning of this, and I'm not quite sure what you're asking for in the sharing, but I do have a couple of wins from last week.
Well, okay. Just first of all, it's just in case everybody doesn't know, you say your name, where you live, and then we'd love to hear your share.
All right. So Carrie Bell, and I'm in Iowa, the sunny beach and background of Iowa. And last week when we were setting up our strategic attraction plan, I had picked two items. One was a health professional who knew what was basically wrong with me. And the other was clients and friends. And I just got off the phone with the nurse practitioner to a Dr. Gant in DC, who describes himself as the Sherlock Holmes of medical issues, sort of functional medicine. And so that after 8 or 10 years of doing all this kind of stuff, there's a very small light and a very long tunnel, but maybe we're making a connection that way. And the other one is last Friday, I had a 2.5-hour session with a new client who's a good friend of mine. And so it's like both of those items from what we did last week have some fruition.
We like it when that happens. Absolutely. Cool.
And I think what the other part was what kind of things I could be offering to this community and such. And what comes to mind is getting clear on top passions, quality, what areas of life I want to focus on. And mainly for the men in your lives, support for men's circles and what that involves, and encouraging men to be sitting in circle with other men.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good to me. I'll sign up. Oh, I get it. I wasn't invited. Okay, got it.
There are, certainly from the level of supporting the Mankind Project, anyone can be a member.
Okay.
If you agree with the idea. And there are women's groups that are connected as well. But it's basically the world needs mature men, especially right now with all of our isolation and what we're doing, that, anger issues, control issues in relationship. This is an organization that supports men in living mature, recognizing their feelings and acknowledging them and having a safe place, no shame, no blame, where they can, quote, let their hair down and work through whatever's going on.
John is always letting his hair down. Oh, gosh. Okay, great. Thanks, Carrie. And let's see, who's next?
I'll go. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I hear you loud and clear. And welcome.
My computer was not working, so
Okay.
I've been playing technical troubleshooting.
Gotcha.
So,
You sound good.
well, thank you. Honestly, I've had a lot of stress. I don't know about anyone else, but it's just kind of that wanting to do something to help the situation and not knowing what to do. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
I missed the call last week. I was on a call with my new client. So I just wanted to say hi to everyone. I'm Amy LeBlanc, and I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. And right now I'm at the beach. So
Breaking my
I got
heart.
so sunburned though when
Breaking my
I was
heart.
texting you.
And how can you be stressed out at the beach? Don't answer that.
Yeah, you take yourself wherever you go, I suppose.
That's true. That's true. Well, let's see if we can unload some of that and switch that over to a stress-free channel.
Sounds good.
Okay. Let's see. Who wants to share next? Dia? Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm Dia, and I live in Fernandina Beach on Amelia Island, and our beaches are closed, so we can't get out on our beach, which is, I would be talking to you guys on the beach if I could right now. My energy, and I'm not saying this from a complaint, I guess it's a realization about managing my own energy and time, because I got really excited last week and just trying to meet the needs of a lot of people. I was helping, I have a lot of senior clients. So last week, I will celebrate that I did some Zoom classes and some Zoom meditations. I'm planting the seeds about doing more, coming back to like what Carrie says, I would like to do more of a women's circle where it's not all, there is some movement and releasing the tension in the body, coming into some mindfulness and breath work, but also, going a little deeper to see what's showing up and how to apply yoga or mindful principles in everyday interactions, whether it's in relationships or a stressful situation. And so really having that dialogue. So I've been planting the seed, and we'll to see how that comes along. But that's what I envision is working more with people about going deeper and being able to use these resources in their everyday life. So a lot was accomplished last week as far as planting seeds and having more virtual meetings, because that's something further than we've gotten from years past, because they weren't even open to that. So that's really cool. And I do sense I just need to manage my energy.
And what brought you here today?
What brought me here today is to be connected and to move forward in a way that supports others and supports myself, and take it to the next level and be a leader and come together with like-minded people that are on the same path. So thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome, awesome. Thank you for being here. All right. More people have joined. Hi, Petra. So who wants to share next? We're just doing a little introductory share and what brought you here today.
I can share next.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so I'm Marima, I'm from Spain, and I live in the Netherlands at the moment. And what brings me here is that from the beginning of this crisis, the first call that we had completely lifted me up, because I was like, I want to help, but I just had a certain level of shame about offering my services, which I noticed in other business people as well since then. And I have become much more active, probably, than I have ever been since I started business 8 years ago. And that shame has completely disappeared. And my new theme, which is gone, which has been a theme for a while, but I think now it has become stronger, is that the new world, the new way of doing business is coming from the energy of love and passion, and action without attachment to results, a spiritual energy, not mind energy, as Eckhart Tolle says. And I think that what brought me to the call today is that together we can offer something much more powerful than what I can offer just by myself. So this is where I am.
That's great. I agree. I like that. That's a good thought. Cool. All right. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for
Let's
organizing.
see. Lena or Petra, like to say hello?
Hello, hello. I'm a little bit late. I'm delayed with social distancing. I went and had to go buy something, and then there was such a long line with everybody 6 feet apart. And
yeah.
So, yes, I'm here because, last week we've been together and we wanted to explore if we do a summit or whatever. So I wanted to see if we can get something rolling, get something in action. People need help. People are fearful, they're afraid. They're just here I'm in New York, so thanks God not in the city. And so almost 1,000 people died here. And so it's quite some interesting time. Today I heard that so far in the United States, more people died than in the 9/11 attacks. So there is this general fear going on, and we need people to help people. We have, as Dea said, we have to, step up as leaders. We are the leaders. We are awake, and most people are not. And so let's see how we can awake more.
Yes. I love it. Hey, I think Bridge made a good suggestion in the chat line that if you will, up in the corner, the right-hand corner where the 3 dots are on Zoom, if you click in there, you can rename yourself and you can add where you live. And that's kind of a nice thing to help us remember. So. And there's Miss Lena. Hi, welcome.
You're there.
Yeah.
I figured I'd pop on for a second. I don't know if I can stay for the whole call because I'm working on something else at the moment as well, and is also time sensitive. So my name's Lena. I'm in Chicago, here because I just really love the energy of the group. Looking forward to what we're doing. Wanted to find out more about the possibility of what we're looking at putting together, of the Coach-a-thon, or however we want to call it. However, I'm also, like I said, working on a project right now. A friend of mine approached me about doing a Facebook group and LinkedIn group to start driving business for both of us, very targeted for tech leaders. And so I'm just working on putting together the project planning for that. Awesome. And doing it because we're trying to launch within the next couple of days. I still have to write the summary and all that stuff, and we've got it on LinkedIn and on Facebook.
Cool.
And it's all about working remotely.
Yeah.
Specifically for tech leaders and executives, because really they are the leaders now.
Yeah, absolutely. Like when John and I were doing our little impromptu video yesterday, we were just saying, now is our time. We've all been kind of working on the online front for a while, many of us, and now we really are.
Yeah. And since one of my specializations, Yeah, since one of my specializations is communication, that's something that's often needed within the tech industry because soft skills aren't as prevalent in a lot of the people that I've met.
Yeah.
I worked with.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, cool. All right. Well, thanks everybody. I think that's everybody. Did everybody get to introduce themselves? Okay. Well, I'm Jan Stringer, in case you didn't know that. And what got me here is you. And this is my opportunity to bring, and my desire in starting the group started before the Corona thing, in that I'll just give you a little backside information that I was looking at this being my last year of this business in January. And I was thinking about, oh, it's 2020, you know, this is the 20th year of Perfect Customers. Started it in the year 2000. And I'm like, okay, I'm just thinking this is going to be my last year. And then somebody said, well, have you ever thought about selling the business? And I'm like, well, okay, that's a possibility. And then I was reflecting and somebody came to mind. Somebody that you all know, but I'll keep it a secret. And I was just sharing that with him, that I was thinking this would be my last year. And he actually said, well, have you ever thought about selling the business? And I said, yes. And that person said, well, that's great. And I said, yeah, I have somebody in mind. And they were like, oh, good, you know. And I said, well, and it's you. Like, well, I had the same thought. So anyway, that is kind of did get moved to the background of conversations because of the coronavirus. And it's not, you know, nothing's been finalized, nothing's been moved forward. It's kind of got push the pause button on that. But what I really saw out of just even contemplating selling my business, you know, passing the legacy on, is that you want the business to have a lot of buzz and synergy and energy moving. So before the coronavirus seemed like that was the reason for doing a monthly call, and certainly it was part of it, there was a thought that I was already having. I want to re-enliven our group. And so you guys are the people that I wanted to re-enliven this conversation with. And so I appreciate you greatly. You are my stars. And so I feel like there is some new enthusiasm coming to the business of Perfect Customers. And certainly inside of me, I got a compliment yesterday from one of our insider people in one of our community, who said, hey, I heard a rumor that you're revitalized and re-energized and you're coming back alive. And it's true. You guys are the reason I feel re-energized. And so much gratitude for you for being in my life to help me to see something new and have a new perspective. And I'm very excited about what we're co-creating here. So that's one thing. And then I had two announcements, and then we'll go forward into the co-creative side of our conversation today. One is my brother kind of flagged my attention to this yesterday, that the SBA, and this is all over the news, but I don't listen to the news, so I didn't really think about it until he brought it to my attention. If you are a small business, which we're all under 500 employees, so that means we're a small business, and you do want disaster relief funding, you can go to sba.gov. sba.gov, and you can submit an online application. It did not take me very long to do it. I haven't heard any word from them yet. That was just yesterday, though. And so I'm sure they've got a lot, you know, to sift through. But my sister-in-law, who in Houston is a chiropractor, she filed, and she said she thinks she will receive her funding I think about $10,000 next week. So, just pass that along. I didn't know about it, and I thought anybody here that wants to follow through can check on that.
Can you repeat the website again?
SBA. SBA, like B as in boy. Small Business Administration. What's that? That's the initials for that. SBA.gov. I'll put it in the thing, in the chat line. You have to see to be able to do that. So it's SBA.gov. Okay. Anyway. All right. So there's that announcement. And then also, I meant to mention this last week, but I'm also creating a 12 Weeks to Attracting Perfect Customer course, which is the certification training. That's how I call it now. That it's not necessarily just for certification, which you all already are. So you are technically invited to come as a reviewer. And this is the format that I created last year. So that'll be new for most of you, I think. And it's also at the end, you have the option to be a star, which is the new name for strategic attraction coaches. And anyway, that is part of that course. And I'm doing a super duper reviewer fee. Normally it's $297, and I'm doing it for you guys for $97. If $97 is even a challenge for you right now, you just let me know. We'll work it out, okay? So anyway, the plan is to start that on April 23rd, and that'll be held on a Thursday. And so I would love to get as many reviewers as possible, and I'll be adding some new people too. In case you know anybody, I'm going to be giving a very substantial scholarship for new people. Normally the certification training is $2,000 if you pay in full, and I'm going to give a $1,000 scholarship. So that's all because of the situation people are in, and I will do payment plans on that as well. So if you have anybody, let them know, and you can send them my way or just connect with me, and we'll figure out how to talk to them. All right, so those are my two announcements. And so without further ado, let's talk about our idea, our co-creative idea. And did you get a chance to watch the little 4-minute video that John and I made yesterday? If you didn't, it's okay. We just kind of batted around some of the things we were talking about. So John. John is a video marketing expert, and aren't we fortunate that we get to have him in our community? He's the go-to guy. I've never asked John a question about some kind of a software or something around that whole topic that he didn't already know about. So, he's our resource go-to person. And so let's kind of just, John, you and I kind of share back and forth a little bit about what we thought of so far. Last week we talked about a summit, and so we're kind of massaging that idea to do a summit version of the summit. Is that the right way to say it?
A streaming version of a summit.
A streaming version of a summit. Okay. So why don't you talk for a minute about what we had talked about?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So we've been doing a lot of streaming right now. And of course, people are really watching that because their infrastructure systems to watch Netflix and stuff are really failing. So they're turning to the internet to watch a stream in a lot of cases. And our viewership has been great. We'll be on for a short period of time and we get like 90 to 100 viewers in like no time flat. So great time to be doing that. And so we came up with the idea. Somebody mentioned a summit. Let's do a summit together. And I said, well, why don't we do something a little different? Why don't we stream a summit instead of actually doing it, like a summit, all pre-recorded. This would be live. And of course, it's fairly simple to do with the tools that we have now. So I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Okay.
And we came up with what, like 20 minutes, we, you know, looking for speakers, including people here. And then
yeah.
about 20 minutes a person, we figured.
Yeah, so we had, each person had 20 minutes. We thought, well, if we do 1 hour a day, that's 3 people. And would we do it every day? We don't know. We haven't decided that yet. We do it once a week, once a day, for a certain period of time. You know, those are some of the options to be decided. But the principle is, as John mentioned, we would have, let's just say that there was 3 speakers and your day was to be tomorrow. And so we would have a time slot for each speaker, and there would be a co-host. And it can be John, or it can be me, or it could be one of you. We don't have to always be the ones. And I think that the opportunity is to, and I think I heard that in some of the sharing, some of the things that we are looking at that we could share that would make a difference for people.
Right.
And of course, I had a nasty thought last night, like when you look at my emails, the end basket is full of these kind of things. But then I remembered in my strategic attraction planning process that it doesn't matter if everybody in the planet, I mean, there's a lot of people to reach. And so
plenty of room for everyone.
Plenty of room. And so we can just do it our way, what works for us.
Exactly.
Totally. Our perfect customers are going to be attracted to us anyway.
Yeah.
So.
And I've had such surprises. We started streaming every day last week. Then we just decided we're going to make it a regular thing. We're going to keep streaming every day for 365 days. A friend of mine and I, and we've had people on, and it's been so much fun. I've like reconnected with people I went to high school with who didn't know I did this. It's a hoot, you know.
I got on Friday with you.
It was great.
And I never do this. I got on without makeup.
Yeah. Yeah. How cool was that?
No lipstick, nothing.
Extraordinary.
Raw Jan.
And you were looking good, baby.
Leos never do that, but I was like, oh, what the hell? You know? And then I remembered later, oh my God, that's like streamed out to tons of people. In the moment, I was cool.
Yeah.
But, after we talked yesterday, John, I had some further inspirations. Just doodled about it.
Cool.
That we could have categories. So this is just ways to slice and dice. You know, like maybe one day, these are categories that just came to mind: health and wellness, business, technology, relationships, healing, spirituality. Those are just a few that came to mind, and there can be more, of course.
And I think variety is good. And you know, the thing that always hits me is trying to give people something that's immediately actionable, or something that's, even if it's short, it's transformative. Because right now you've got people that are home, they're freaked out. Just about everybody, Ken and I have been talking about, just about everybody's freaked out, like beyond to an extreme. And they're just really trying to figure out how to get a handle on things. And they know that in like 30 days, because most of us, I think, are closed down. Well, at least where I am, we're closed down till like the 10th of May, kind of, sort of, for the most part, except for essential services. Which amazingly, the liquor store qualifies for it. That's an interesting story.
Because stores are open.
It should.
I know. So that's hysterical to me.
Essential business.
In Chicago, liquor stores can now deliver as well.
I know. How cool is that?
The beach is closed, but the liquor store is open.
The store is open.
Got it.
Well, you know, the vodka can be a sanitizer, you know.
I know. Believe
Well,
me,
we
my
gotta
family
make our-
understands that well.
We got to make our quarantinis, right?
Yes. Yeah. Maybe maybe
Inside
during our summit.
disinfection with alcohol.
Yeah. So giving people something that they can take back with them or work on while they're home, I think is key. You know, anything like that we can really help them out with and give them tips on. We've been talking about marketing tips, business tips, all kinds of things for last week.
Yeah.
And people should
we
respond
talked
well.
about calling it a coach-a-thon, but I also got an inspired moment that it could be a gift-a-thon.
But
You know,
it's definitely
we're
going to be
sharing our gifts.
Yeah, I mean that's
Sharing our gifts.
but also, you know what I think, I mean, there are so many summits out there that we think a little bit out of the box, maybe too.
Yes.
With what
That's
we're
what I was
talking
thinking.
about, and tailor it a little bit more to the current situation. Because I'm thinking what I see that a lot of people now what now what I cannot meet with people, and I wanted to do something a different way of networking, online networking, maybe,
right,
doing something in that direction. So which is not my theme, because my theme is change, but that would be changing the attitude toward the online networking. So that maybe when we do something, and we do not do the usual, we do something really beneficial to the current situation.
Absolutely.
Well, here's one of the other ideas. Instead of Coach-a-thon, I had Care-a-thon. We could play on I care, we care, or Share-a-thon, sharing our gifts.
Share-a-thon always works.
I like that.
Sharing always works.
Yeah, I do
Sharing
too.
always works. And I wanted to say as well that let's use the perfect customer system. What it will work is what we love to do.
Yeah.
When we are having fun, that will attract our perfect customers.
Absolutely.
I done my homework, and Jan.
Yeah.
after so many years. And what do we want our perfect customer to expect from us?
I think even opening with that.
We want to be what we want to give. What do we want to give? What is fun for us? Let's do it, as you said, let's do it our way.
Yeah, another thing I was thinking about was, Jen, when you were mentioning having different categories, for instance, we could have like a different, different days being different categories, but we all have so many talents that can fall under many different categories that maybe we could have a few people speak on that topic that day.
Yeah.
So
And not restricted to just ones.
Yeah.
So also what I think, and I experienced this last year when I attended, participated, we interviewed each other prior to the event. So we hooked up on Zoom, and the first 10 minutes one, then 10 minutes the other, we switched to Zoom, and we posted those on our social media, announcing already, you have to go. Next week is blah, 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 and you have to admit. The day before, posting again. And then we can repurpose this later also for our stuff. So I thought that would be also cool if we could do that, and learn each other better, when we are one-on-one.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. And that would be an easy thing to do because we already have the challenge going on right now. So that's something we could do like within the challenge for people who haven't been on streaming and stuff. And that's usually one of the first things you do as part of the challenge is make a video of yourself or have one of us interview you or whatever. So that would work out perfectly.
Yeah. Bridge, I think
that might get me over my fear of being on video.
Yeah.
We can work on
Come
that.
on over.
What did you say? You have fear being on video?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, sweetie, you all look so pretty.
It's the most beautiful thing in the world. So yeah.
I've also got someone that we can. I've got someone that we can bring into this that I think would be highly beneficial.
Okay.
To this, he is an emotional intelligence coach and trainer. He is my lead trainer for OneSource.
Okay.
And I think he would be extremely beneficial to people right now.
Sure.
So.
Bridge, please.
Well, this is fun, co-creating this. I love the idea of being generous and offering it as a gift. But I was thinking we could also give it a context of like practices, best practices for these challenging times.
Yes.
And the practice can include both how to cope with it as well as how to invent your business or reinvent your business in this new environment. I was thinking that most people these days are looking for some orientation to how should one stay centered and deal with anxiety. So that's a good magnet to just bring people in. But then the scope can be larger than that, like because many of these people are, self-employed and providers and so on. So they would also be interested in the business coaching as well. That's one thought. The other thing is that having been on a couple of these calls, like summits, what I've seen is that in the chat, the chat that goes on simultaneously, there's a parallel conversation that goes on. There's like a community developing. Suppose, 100 or 200 people join such a thing. Not everyone can share, or that's another question whether it's interactive or just like a presentation. But we should also think about how to capture the community of participants for an ongoing sort of interaction and further conversation. So those two thoughts. Thanks.
I'm glad you said that. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually adding them as part of adding them to a group or having them come and join a community with us so that we have that in perpetuity. So that'll be something. And then I posted the link to my video challenge. So if you haven't been on video, you're uncomfortable with being on video, we'll get you over that fast. So feel free to come join the group. We start tomorrow.
Cloak of invisibility now.
Cloak of invisibility. Get over
About
that.
to play,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm glad those liquor stores are still open.
Exactly. Nothing wrong with that.
So the timing in this is very good, because one thought that comes to mind is with all the emails that I've been getting about we're here to help with the coronavirus. I listened to something yesterday with T.R. Garland on LinkedIn, and he talked about basically people doing I don't have the exact words. He compares basically that what I've seen is it's still all money driven. Is they're coming out saying, here's what I've got for you to help you with the coronavirus, and it's really all about the money.
Yep.
Whereas he's pointing out is that the timing is such that it's really about relationship. So he talks about the idea of, relationship-based marketing as opposed to monetary-based marketing. And he talks about, financial currency as opposed to relationship currency. And so how we structure what gets sent out is to make sure we're on that relationship side, which is common nature to us, and not, on, hey, we're here to help, but behind the scene is we really want your money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I went to a webinar on podcasting, and it was a total, I wanted to learn a little bit. I didn't learn anything, but I got pitched a lot.
Yeah.
But, I think one of the things that we did talk about, though, is each of us could have a link to something you're giving away. All right, so you give away a gift. This is, if you don't have your online gift set up, this is an opportunity to get that created because it looks like you're going to need it. I actually do a piece in the training now on creating your online product. And, it's not a large piece, it's about 3 sessions is spent on creating your online product. So anyway, we can help you. I can help you. John can help you. Anybody here who's done it can help you.
I have a bot now.
A book?
A bot. B-O-T.
Oh, a bot.
A bot.
A bot. And in German and in English, so they can click.
I thought you said
and then
book for a second.
A bot.
Process,
Yeah.
and then they get the freebie, and then
Yeah.
We can do that too.
Yeah, we can do
That's
a
easy.
bot.
We can do
Mm-hmm.
bots.
I want a bot.
Bots.
What is that?
It's have you noticed when you go to somebody's Facebook page or usually page typically or group, and you can set up a bot that answers some of your basic questions and automatically directs people in the right direction.
it's interactive.
Yeah, it's very interactive. You gotta give it some
sounds
thought and
cool.
think through them, and yeah.
It comes through usually through a text, right?
Not necessarily.
Or an instant message.
I have a speaker bot, and I give them either a QR code or I have a linked to a domain, and then they go in there, and in that, either on their phone or on their computer, they walk through. They can get the download, and then they enter into my system, and then they get emails, and then later on it goes into and we are figuring the people I'm working with, they are figuring out how to integrate that. That later on, like they get a text reminder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we get a lot of cool technical projects going.
Yeah.
So what we thought we would do is a sales page. I guess that's the best way to call it, a landing page.
Landing page.
A landing page where everybody's freebiums would be posted. So,
yes, basically like a short bio, a short description of what we are doing, what we are offering, a picture of us, and then a picture of the tool or whatever we give away. And then we'll provide that, and somebody makes that page and then get the link to your landing page so that they can go to your CRM and get the stuff, whatever you need.
Right.
Or you're ever giving away.
There also, one thing that's popular is to sell the recordings later, you know, like one of the groups doing a thing now, it's more of a summit format, it looks like, Jeff Walker's kind of group. Anyway, they're selling all of the speakers' recordings for $47. So it's not a large amount, but 47.
47.
Oh yeah, I saw different ones. 47, 39, 67, 97.
97. They're all over the place.
There are a lot of different things. And then
considering, oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
What I think is, what my experience, because I attended a couple of those that then later on wanted to make profit about it, we have to give them time to review and have time to look at it before we sell and say, okay, up till then it's free, and then you have to purchase.
Yeah.
Well, this will be different in regard that they're going to see them a lot longer if we're streaming them.
Yeah.
They're going to be, the recordings are going to be available much longer than they would normally be.
Yeah, good.
So they'll have plenty of time to watch them with no problems. And but they will go away because Facebook makes them disappear after a short period of time.
But we can also put them on YouTube and then have.
Believe me, I get this figured out. I'll have them set up so that they go everywhere. But and they're saved, so it'd be no problem at all.
Okay.
Yep. But we got it well in the end.
In our theme, one of the things that came to me as an inspired theme would be the lighthouse.
Yeah.
And shining our light. Those were kind of the two things that came to me.
like that.
What was that second one?
The lighthouse.
The lighthouse, shining our light. That's the theme.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
I was thinking about lighthouse just right before the
beacon
call.
for everyone.
Yeah, it's so cool because it's for everybody. It's not just for, you know, everybody will be shining their light.
Yeah.
Those benefits.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so let's make butter to the fish. So who, what, where, when?
It's difficult. It's really very difficult to make decisions like this about the specifics.
Oh, it's easy.
Why don't we make
it's like a training? It's like a training coordination. It's very easy.
Wow, for you, that's great. That's probably just.
I've been doing it for 30 years.
Amy's like, oh yeah, nothing.
There you go. That's amazing.
Just tell me when I have to show up and I'm there.
Yeah, the technical side is...
I had the same feeling.
I think what we've got to do is put together an easy way for you to say, I want to do a 20-minute talk. Here's what I'll talk about. And then we'll have maybe a selection of available times and days, and you pick a spot. I think that's really all you need, you know, just in the beginning. And then maybe find out what else you need. You know, do you need help creating a product link, etc.? Or, you know, I was just thinking also just, you know, well, I was thinking about Bridge sharing his poem last week. And he shared a couple of poems. You know, even if somebody just wanted to share some poems, you know, it could be great. Or an inspirational story or something. It doesn't have to be all business.
No.
That's very true.
Yeah.
In fact, some of the best things that are done are varietal. Like they're on different topics.
Yeah.
Some of the best podcasts and some of the best streams are a little mixed up.
Inspirational.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe John, maybe we can send you and John, we can do a video, like a 5 minutes thing,
Mm-hmm.
to just give you a feeling for what we will be talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Bring it up into a private YouTube video, send you the link, so then you can have an idea of
I can set up a Google.
You can put some order, yeah.
I can set up a Google Sheet and we can just put everything in it.
For example, yeah.
I'll just post the link. You guys can
You
put
know
in
what,
short video, whatever, where we can find a gift.
Or another
we can
idea.
also have a group messenger where we can message only the people that are attending in that group messenger.
Yeah, we could do that too.
We'll have like we call it, what is the group, the Lighthouse Summit, and then all the people that are in the Lighthouse Summit, we can communicate. And then,
like a Slack channel.
Or WhatsApp.
That's what they call it. Slack is Slack.
I think there's another one that's part of, but I like Slack.
That's the name. I know it sounds terrible, doesn't it? Slackers.
Say hi, Carolyn.
Yeah, Slack is great.
Welcome. You're late. Don't worry about it. We can catch you up. Okay.
You are late. Don't worry
Probably
about
a
it.
sheet
It's
and a channel
recorded.
would be good.
So,
all right. Well, here's my other idea.
You guys do have my mind going a lot here.
You're welcome.
You could send a video, and what we could do is we could just get on another one of these, and each person go, boom,
boom, boom, yes,
boom, 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 and then it's all handled in one fell swoop.
Yeah, we could do that too.
Me and John sitting and watching, a lot of videos.
What I also think would be very nice, because then we know what the other person is doing. And like, for example, and I had that thought while we were talking, like, for example, if I do, the new way of networking, the social distance networking or something like this, around that, I could bring in, if there is somebody who does LinkedIn or Facebook, whatever, I could refer, next week, blah, 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 blah is on for Facebook. Want to know more about Facebook or LinkedIn, make sure you attend that talk, so that we can also in our talk refer to the others.
Yeah, if we get it organized
like
that. Yeah,
absolutely
true.
Carolyn,
and I'm hoping we'll have experts like that, so that'd be good.
Yeah, Carolyn,
let's get it alive. Help each other. Win-win.
Win-win. We're networking with each other. Carolyn, and then Bridge.
Yeah.
Well, I like that idea. I think having that, having like a weekly or bi-weekly meeting where we get together and think about that, how can we do that for each other? So we're, being represents to it continually.
Yeah. Bridge, how about you?
Well, I was thinking about this aspect that what we find valuable in our interaction is the interaction. We're all speaking and contributing. And many of the Zoom summits or calls I've been on, there's a chance for people to share. That's how they get engaged. They get to be present. And in the way we are thinking about it is mostly, I think, in a presentation mode. So what are people's thoughts about allowing some kind of interaction, questions through messaging or other ways in which people can engage,
I'd like to be able to get people on so that they can actually share with us, because in StreamYard we have six slots, so there's plenty of room for us and for a couple of people to come on and actually ask questions if they'd like to.
What about
we can make that
people
happen.
behind the scenes answering questions?
Well, they'll always have the comments that they can ask questions in, so this would be literally broadcast right online.
So if somebody wanted to come on, you would post the link in the chat and say, if you want to come on and ask your questions directly. Okay.
Yes, but also you can incorporate in. Sorry, who was it? No, I interrupted.
No, if there's a moderator, they can read some of the questions, and ask the presenter, so the presenter doesn't have to follow the channel as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you watch us when we're on, typically that's what I do. If somebody comes on and they're commenting, we're talking about the questions that they're asking, I'll invite them to come and step in. If any of you are on and you want to come step in, just come over. I'm like literally every day we're on. So if you catch me on, feel free to hop into the audience. Happy to have you pop on, especially if you've never been on one before. and you'd like to just come in for the first time, those of you that are afraid.
Can you say more about that, John?
Me.
Is it on Facebook or where?
You've been on my page, on my personal profile on Facebook, and we've been broadcasting every day, usually between 3 and 5. We've been experimenting with times a little
3
bit
and
right
5
now.
what? Eastern Pacific?
3 and 5 Eastern, roughly, we've been on. We've been just kind of working it in with my time schedule because I've been out straight with clients asking me about doing their virtual events and stuff. But we wanted to start that and just kind of get an idea when people are on, when we're getting the most interaction, and just kind of testing things versus committing to a time. So I think next week we'll commit to a time. I don't know what the time's going to be yet.
That's not your 10-day challenge link, is it? Is that a different link?
No, my 30-day challenge link is over in the chat.
Yeah.
And
Would you put this link in on the chat?
oh, it's just my regular personal profile link.
Yeah.
So if you know me personally,
You should be
I'll
friends
put
with
it there for you.
Just put it up there. Just
Aren't we
everybody
friends,
likes
Carrie
it.
Bell?
Put the link in the chat.
I'll put it in the chat. Sure.
There's some of us that have reached the age where our brain doesn't
I'm-
quite keep up with our.
I'm nearing there.
bodies.
I'm with you.
I thought maybe John and I kind of tossed this around, like, what's our big why? Why would we do this?
Yeah, very important that we connect with the purpose.
My big why is because I'm of service. Everything I do is service oriented, and it's not about getting paid. It's not about looking good. It's more in whatever way somebody can use my assistance.
So I'll give you the couple
service
lists.
and support in uncertain times.
Okay. Yeah.
Something that I've noticed is that a lot of people are going out there right now. Dan's known me for a long time, and I went and got my certification. And I'm not judging anyone, putting anyone down, but there are a lot of people out there right now saying that they're coaches and giving advice that are not certified, that do not really contribute real knowledge. And I think this would be a gift to people to really understand real knowledge of how to handle situations right now.
Okay.
For me, my purpose is to bring about a complete transformation of the business world, in which the actions are taken from the heart and from passion. And in this new business world, after this crisis, we will still make money, even more than before.
Yeah.
Because when we're driven by the energy of love and passion, we are not perfectionists. We don't hesitate and we don't procrastinate. And we have been saying that for years. But the difference in this new world is now it's a requirement to come from the heart. So I just want to bring about that change. And I think that between all of us, we are going to bring about that change, or we are going to contribute to bring about that change.
Winston Churchill, I liked what he said, never let a good crisis go to waste.
Exactly. Yes.
He's so amazing.
Well,
the other
Can you say that again? I'm sorry, I interrupted, Petra.
That's okay.
Pardon.
Winston Churchill said, never let a good crisis go to waste.
Absolutely.
And that's really what how I'm feeling. I'm not going to let this time go to waste. Sitting around or binging on Netflix all the time isn't my cup of tea.
Right.
I was thinking, really, when you were talking earlier, I was thinking, what in the world is she saying? She wants to stop her business? Her best years are starting now. My husband and I just turned 60. My husband is 67. For us, it's like we work and do service until we drop dead. Yeah. I mean, even thinking about stopping this, that would be hilarious.
I was just going to start another business. I wasn't going to continue. I wasn't going to continue business. No, I'm never
I was wondering when she said that.
No, what you thought? I was just going to sit home and get fat, or what?
I was thinking, what? Selling her business? Now it's a time to start. We are here for a reason. Each one of us is here for a reason. We have to fulfill our destiny. If we do not do that, we will regret it the last day we're going to go away and after. So let's do whatever we can do to serve and help elevate the planet.
There you go.
The other thing that I'm seeing also is this world right now is, and I'm speaking from the viewpoint of the United States, is there is not really solid leadership. People are looking for someone, people are looking for leadership, and we provide that. We provide a heart-centered leadership that is very clean, it's very clear, and it's there to help people learn about how they can also step into their own empowerment and leadership. We give them tools, we give them an opportunity to learn something new and also about themselves, how to step into their own power. And we're moving into a time, especially, I don't know how many people here are familiar with human design, but we're stepping into a time where, into a whole new era where leadership, as we have known it, is going away. Government is going away. Systems that we've known are going away. And we have to know who we are as empowered human beings, as divinely centered human beings, the gifts, the talents that we bring to the world and how they impact us. And we've got to teach people how to use their own inner authority, how they process information, how they show up in the world in order to come together in a completely different way. And this crisis that we're in right now is teaching us how to go within if we will use this time and to connect with our own beingness in a way that we have not had an opportunity to do so before.
Yeah.
Totally. Amen.
Yep, absolutely agree with
Hey.
you.
Yep. Feel that completely.
Now we also, you know, I think it's also our duty, because there's so much going on behind the scenes. Why is this all happening? Why you know, this virus targets older people mainly. Why is this, you know, now this forces people to work from home, which is okay. This forces but people not to be social, not to be close. So this is against love. It's against community. It's disrupting people. And you know, there's always these artificial intelligences. On a certain level, I think on a higher level, people, these beings who are there, they don't need humans anymore because they're obsolete. And this is also the subconscious fear that many have. What is going to happen with me? What is with my job? How do I continue to live? So, and I think it's for us also an opportunity to lift them up and help them and become fighters for their lives and for the planet and for the whole existence of humanity.
Yes, and remind everybody that we are creators in any circumstances. The laws of creation has not stopped because there is coronavirus. There is still intention, attention, no tension. There is still perfect customers. There is still synchronicity. All the things that we all these years have worked in the more, you know, lighter situations, they still work now.
If you follow evolution, you know, it's all been talked about for years. We just didn't know how it was going to happen, that we're going into a fifth dimension, and the fifth dimension is bringing all of the darkness to the top. Many people that have not done their spiritual work, let's say, their evolving work, soul's evolution work.
But
maybe,
it's also a matter of awakening. Not
awakening
is at the same level of awakening. So we are where we are, and we can lift up a lot, but others are maybe beyond us that can help us.
And our spiritual mentors, I know mine always said, you know, just remember, no matter what happens in the world, that we signed up to come here at this time. And it's, you know, the leadership comment, I felt really strongly that we are the leaders, that's why we did come here. That's why we have been doing the work that we've been doing. That's why we're in the businesses we're in. We knew that we came here for a reason. And Bridge, you've had your hand up. I want to make sure you have time.
Right. So I have a question or like a clarification.
Okay.
I completely get the context of offering what we have to offer from the spirit of generosity. We're all highly trained, aware, centered people. We have so many practices that we can share, that we teach others. You know, some of us have businesses. And however, when we take it into the business dimension, like potential clients, that makes me think about who's our perfect audience, you know, meaning the offering and the generosity part is clear because anyone is a perfect audience for that, you know. And so maybe we could think about who is the perfect audience, like in our usual process of who's our perfect client.
Yeah.
Now, also, amongst us, I think of this vision of creating miracles through partnership and love. You know, I feel like this is deepening our partnership, and even with the audience, we'll have a partnership, you know. So anyway, just wanted to clarify the generous offering independent of any business expectations versus do we really have this wish, a longing that some of these people will become our clients. So I just want to be clear about that. Who is our perfect audience?
I'm totally open for new clients. So I think there's a lot of people that make a difference with. So, you know.
And we will have more clients. I'll tell you what happened to me this morning. I reached out to a friend client that he never paid me anything before because it was connected with a corporate job that I have. He actually asked me for if I had some meditation. Anyway, we talked today and I just wanted to comfort him because he's in Madrid. He's in lockdown in an apartment with his family. So I just went out for a walk and reached out to him. We just talking. And he said to me, his business has completely disappeared, but he has created a new business with 5 partners for some renewable energy. And they have money. These partners have money. And I said to him, well, I think this will be a really good time for you to know your business passions. And he said, actually, you're right. Right now, we cannot go anywhere. It will be a perfect time to go to know our business passions. I'm going to introduce you to a video conference next week, and you're going to present to us what you want to do.
Good.
This is a great opportunity for me to do business there.
Yeah.
And this is happening in the middle of everybody being locked down.
Yeah.
So just because we are in lockdown, it doesn't mean that we cannot make money and we cannot make business. The strategic synchronicity is the same. That is law. That is a spiritual law. It has not changed. The money will come from wherever it has to come, as Alan Hickman used to say.
Yes. I want to
and it's an energy exchange anyway.
Well, I really love our conversation today. Thank you so much. I think what's next is a little organizational piece, and I will put that together in, I think a Google Doc is, most anybody can access it. So it could all be, once I set it up, I can send you the link. Everybody can have access to the same document.
And Slack. Slack would also be a good idea because in Slack.
I might do Slack. Let me just kind of hash that over and come up with a way that we can all be in touch and what the next step would be to organize it.
And then let's dates.
Dates.
When, where, what?
Yeah.
Who? Oh.
Well, I think we're going to start pretty quickly. So anyway.
Jan, I've got some ideas about that if you want me to call you about coordinating all of it.
I'd appreciate that. Okay.
I just wanted to come back a bit to Bridget's comment. Yes, the end result can be that we get customers and we're getting paid. I get that. My point that I made earlier is that most of the emails that I'm seeing, even though they start out with the image of, I'm here to help, this coronavirus is blah, 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 you're in your own. Even right off the bat, you know that they're asking for money in terms of, I'm here to help, but I want your money. and the point of whether it's in this time zone or whether it's in normal state of mind is the attitude needs to be as I want to build a relationship with you. I want to make the connection because as we know, and we're not alone in this, is that you really don't sell something until you've made the relationship and the connection. So the focus of that marketing is I'm here to build a relationship. I'm here to support you. And it's, you know, in a sense, it's not about the money. And what happens when you have that relationship and you have that connection and they're getting something of value, then they can turn around and say, you know what, this was valuable to me. What can I do for you in return? And that's where we can bring in, well, I could use the financial support along with whatever other supports in building the relationship. Thanks.
So Carrie, you're saying that the presentation and the context has to be very clear and pure, that is just a generous offering, and any business outcomes will be like satellite indirect sort of results?
In a sense, it's more the idea of, I'm trying to think of the word, somebody else might have it, is there's no surprises, okay? So, you know, so here's the idea. You get a free webinar that's going to tell you how to do this marketing technique or that marketing technique. And you know that after you listen for an hour and a half, and you've gotten the 3 steps of whatever it is they're offering, you know they're going to be promoting a live summit, an online course. You know right before you start that at the end of it, they're going to be asking for something.
Hey,
And what is wrong
you
with
know
that?
what? Here's the thing. I'm going to wrap this up this way.
We need to just have that first part.
I want to wrap this up this way. If nobody watched any of us, we would have gotten our life out of it. Okay? Like, there's 10 people that were on this call today, and right now we're focusing on us getting what we need, us being served, and sharing our gifts this way we like to serve other people. But I just want to, you know, put some perspective on it. This isn't about 50 other people all doing, you know, a conversation and all. It's for us. And I just want to put that is that who we are becoming out of this is what I think we're looking for. And I just kind of got that as an insight. Yes, we all want to make a contribution. And who are we becoming in the process of really getting in touch with what we do to make a difference? And how we do that, you know, this is just one format, and it may be a total miserable failure, or it could be great, or it could be a mixed bag. So I just wanted to remind all of us that, you know, this doesn't have to be overwhelming. It doesn't have to be everybody on the planet on this kind of a format. We just start with our 10 people because we're the ones that came to the call, and we'll just start there. It doesn't have to be complicated. Make it easy.
Yep.
Hopping on Facebook Live is the easiest thing on the planet. We could get on live right now if we wanted to. So.
And one thing, and I like what Carrie says, but one thing is, you know, we offer a summit. People already, because of what's going on in so many summits where they are, you know, of course, the intention, everybody wants to sell. The people know when the summit is offered that there's also an offer at the end from participants. That's normal. But it's, of course, the way we come from our heart. Like when I go in there, I want to help, I want to serve, whatever. If they can get out of my conversation with them, I'm happy to give them as much value as possible.
Building relationship. It's 101. I mean, it's not any different.
To work with me later, wonderful.
It's not any different than the whole process.
Too.
Yeah, you build relationship. From there, you just you know whether it goes to the next level or not. But it's about that initial building relationship. That's it. We're
What I
building a
just wanted to
relationship with
point out-
ourselves out of this process, and then we get to share that with others.
Yes, what I wanted, what Amy, she just wrote in the chat, and I agree with her. I feel that we should stay away from the virus when announcing it, because now everybody is virus. That we have a different approach than the virus, because it's too.
That was my thought process. Yeah, that was my thought process. And I'm seeing a lot of people, when they see something announced about the virus, they cringe because they think somebody's trying to take advantage of this situation.
I cannot hear it.
I was even thinking, just, you know, if anybody comes up with an inspiration, let me know. But, you know, like Malcolm Gladwell, he writes all these books. He has these clever titles, like Blink, for example. I even thought if we came up with just our own, you know, thing that doesn't like uplifting you from the coronavirus, you know, other than that, if we came up with something that it's, you know, like a pumpkin, you know, we're pumpkins. I don't know, not that I really want that, but, you know, just something that's not related. I like, you know, that it's just, it says the right thing, but it's not related.
If everything is energy, would you like to raise your energy?
That's why I thought of Lighthouse.
Yeah, I like
I love the lighthouse.
I mean,
I kind of like Time to Shine with
Time
the
to
lighthouse.
Yeah.
If we are, you know, like they are the Beatles, we are the lighthouses.
Yeah. The lighthouse.
Just hang out with the lighthouses or something like that. We are the lighthouses.
The change shifters.
We've got a changing world. We've got a changing world, and we have an opportunity to really discuss how the world is changing and what needs to emerge in order to create the world that we all want to create and to live in. So what tools, what opportunities can we be as leaders to help set a whole new scaffolding, a whole new paradigm grid that people can hold on to, that's firmly rooted in higher spiritual principles, but also grounded in a world that is physical, so that we can merge those worlds together. We can't live in the fifth dimension and the third dimensional world and create in the fifth dimension. We've got to bring those tools and those principles in to change the third dimension into a fifth dimensional frequency, so that our bodies, minds, and spirits can thrive and we can help people. We've got to meet people where they're at.
Good.
Mamas and the Papas, weren't they the one that sang the Age of Aquarius? All right, we're going to wrap up for today. Thank you for being here. I will just go ahead and say there'll be another call next week.
Can I say one last thing? Can I say one last thing? We go forth with the spirit of enthusiasm, excitement, and expectancy. We are the leaders.
All right. Thank you.
But, you know, next week at the call, maybe we have already something concrete.
I will have an organizational something or other together by then.
I'll be happy to have a call outside if you want to do something with a smaller group, so that we can get things rolling and not, you know, week after week talk.
Yeah, no, we won't week after week. We'll have forward movement next week.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
This is for you.
Bye. Love you.
Bye, everyone. Love you.
Bye, everyone. Namaste. Namaste.
Namaste. Lighthouses.
All right. Keep your light going.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.